What's up guys, Collector Joey here, back again with another unboxing, and today we will be unboxing the Hot Toys Darth Maul 2.0 from the Phantom Menace. And special shout out to Jeremy Casa over at Plastic Hero Collectibles for providing this figure for review. If you need any figures day one, make sure to join the Plastic Hero Collectibles Facebook group and let Jeremy know what you need, new or old. With that being said, I'm very curious about this figure, so let's get it open. Let me know what you think about it down there in the comment section below. Also, while you're down there, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get to the video. And here is the box right here for the Darth Maul 2.0, and I will say it is just like every other Star Wars box we get with Hot Toys. It's kind of a shoebox style. You also get this cigar band running around the sides as well, with a picture right here of the actual figure. I like that a lot. It looks really good. Another picture of the figure, you know, front and center right there, looking great, and then an embossed Star Wars logo, kind of shiny. Also a special edition sticker on the top right. We also do get Darth Maul right there, a Movie Masterpiece logo, a Hot Toys logo right there. If you go on to the side, we do get a picture of the figure again, but more in his robe look. That looks awesome. And then you do just have Darth Maul on the other side, and then on the back, of course, all the legal information. Nothing too crazy, so let's finally get this thing open. So usually with these Star Wars figures, when you do open it, you are greeted with some beautiful artwork, and there it is. Whenever I do unbox these, I usually say that I want to frame these up, and one day I am, so you could probably like bend these corners together right there and get it in a frame and make it look really good next to your figure. Speaking of the figure, here it is right here. We have Maul in the clamshell. Let me get that off and then we'll look a little bit closer at it. So now that we have the clamshell off, we are going to take a quick look at the figure before we get to the accessories. So let's take a look at it. And here we go. Here it is right here. And we're going to do the face reveal. And boom, there you go. Darth Maul. This is the first time I'm seeing a Darth Maul in person too, and it doesn't disappoint. This looks great, man. The details on that face are insane in person. And I really do like how the robe is fitting him and everything. I do have to take the plastic off, of course. Here's the backside. Nothing too crazy right there. Gotta take all this off. But let's take another look at one more thing. We're gonna take a very, very quick look at this and then talk about the accessories, of course. And this is going to be the second head sculpt that you get, the more angry head sculpt. This is one that everybody really wanted to see, so we're gonna take a quick look at it. Here it is right here. Oh wait, maybe I can go down this way. There we go. Y'all ready? Here it is. Boom. The angry head sculpt. Look at that. That is insane. Beautifully done. I will say I really like the spikes on his head. This looks great. Man, the teeth are wild too, if you guys can see that. We're going to get some very up close pictures and videos of this, so stay tuned for that later in the video. But now let's get to some of the accessories, then we'll get back to the figure itself. So here are the first accessories I want to show. These are the switch out hands. There is two other hands on the actual figure right now, but I just want to talk about these. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but I will pick one out of the bunch of these to show you the sculpting that's going on them. It looks good, but it's not too crazy detailed. It's just basically a black glove with some wrinkles going on, and you don't even get a pattern like in here with the inside of the palm. There's no patterns or nothing. It's just a black glove basically, and that's how all these are. So next accessory, we do have his lightsaber. Of course, this is the double-sided lightsaber, and what you could do with this one is actually take it apart right here, and they do have a plug-in that you can put on this part of it and make it look like a single lightsaber like that, and it will just have this inside. This isn't the one that lights up. The one that lights up will show here in a second, but that's cool that you can kind of make a single one, and then you could take the plug off and make the two-sided one just regular without any light up or anything like that. Then we do have the LED ones. Now these will have a box that you can plug these wires into and then plug a USB into that box, and it'll make these light up. Whenever I get to the box, we will see how they light up and what they look like without the lights on. And then of course we do have some saber blades right here. You have 2 pairs of each because he does have a double-sided saber. These look cool, but I would like them lit up, and hopefully they light up pretty good. And next, I guess accessory, not really an accessory, but kind of a perk that you do get with this figure is this coin right here. Now it is a metal coin. It has some really good weight to it, something we haven't seen much, and now they're starting to do with a few Star Wars figures. It does say Hot Toys Limited right there, and then you do have Darth Maul on the other side, so you kind of have like a heads and tails type of thing. It says Darth Maul on top, and it says Galactic Empire on the bottom. I actually really like this. I feel like they should include this more in some figures just to throw it in there, and you can kind of collect the coins while of course you're collecting 1/6 figures. I know that might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's cool to have a little add-on like that if it doesn't cost the company extra, which it might. So now let's get down to this second layer. We do have a couple of things down here as well. So next accessory, we do have his robe. I think this looks amazing. It feels really high quality, actually. I can't wait to get this on the figure. I know Maul with the hood looks absolutely insane. You can get some cool shots with it, so I'm excited to do that. You do have a pattern of like a stripe, like just these stripes going down it, and yeah, it feels like there's some wiring in here as well. Here's the back, and hopefully this isn't one of those figures that it's hard to mess with the hood, because I'm not trying to do all that. Next up, we do have this right here. Now this is a probe droid. I believe that's what it's called, and it looks cool. I mean, you got some purple going on in that little eye of his, and then some green right here and these other eyes that are coming off the side. Really nice detail for this one. You got wires going on throughout it. I like it a lot. I think there might be maybe an antenna in here for this. I'm not too sure, but I think this might go on top of it, maybe like that. I'm not sure, but I think that might be how it goes. And then you do have a small base for it that you can just go like that and then have it standing up. You know, it might be a little wobbly though because of how small this base is. But like I said, cool overall that you get it. And then we do get these cool binoculars right here. These look really good. They actually are detailed quite a bit. You do have a lot of weathering going on down here that makes it look like it's actually real metal. It's not die cast or anything, but just the details going on in it are amazing. Look at that. You could just see the dirt and grime on it, you know, because they're on Tatooine. And then you have these that you look through, and then right here. So that's a cool accessory. And then we do have a gauntlet for him. You could switch this out and it looks really good. I like the paint on it. It looks like this metal. It's not metal, but it makes it look like metal. Squishing this gauntlet in right here, you can see the mold on it, and they just did a really good job with this. And this isn't an accessory, but this is the power to the lightsaber, and we're going to take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to plug it in and we're going to see what it looks like with the lights off. So here is the lightsabers lit up. So first off, we do have the swishing lightsaber over here on the left side. I know you can't really see me. The lights are literally completely off right now. And then we do have the lightsaber that's just straight on the right side. You can barely see this one on the left, but in person it is a little bit more bright. On this side though, you can see it in person and on camera that this is pretty lit up, but you do have kind of this tip at the end that is a little bit more bright than everything else. But I'm liking the right side more. I think it looks good. It is an improvement though than what we've been seeing, of course, from the other LEDs in the past. And here is the base for the figure. Sorry, it does have kind of a mirror finish, so you can see the light right above, but we do have a Darth Maul nameplate right here that says Star Wars in that cool metal look. I like it. But what I don't like is how big this base is. It's just insanely big for a single figure. Maybe with the speeder, this looks really good with the speeder, but not with the single figure. They should have just, I would have taken a sand base over this, honestly. And it does come with a flight pole right here with a hip kind of clamp there that we usually see with all of the figures. This is good because you can get it in some dynamic poses and some flight poses, kind of, I guess you could say, but this base is still a little bit too big, and I think that they should have went with a smaller one. But I guess maybe they couldn't hold up the figure if it was one of those smaller bases. I don't know. But anyways, enough talk about the accessories. Let's get back to the figure itself. And back to the figure itself, and it's Darth Maul, guys. This is so iconic. Even though I am not a huge Star Wars fan, this is like super iconic. So here he is right here looking amazing. Like I said earlier, this robe just fits him perfectly. And then I really do like this, I guess this belt, I guess you could say. I heard that this was real genuine leather. If it is, it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. Especially, let's see, on the back. Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell if it is or not, but it looks good. That's all I can say. I do like, I could see now where you could switch out the gauntlet with this one and put the other one that we saw earlier on. Here's his hilt holder, or his hilt, wherever you can just put it on right there. And let's see some of the boots. We do not have a split cut boot, but we do have some articulation in there. But other than that, it's pretty plain. You don't really have a lot going on. It's just that head sculpt that is really doing it for me, especially you having an all black figure and then you do have this red on top. Just beautiful. But like I said, with the articulation, let's see how it goes. Let's look at this as articulation. It should be good because it's all fabric, but maybe not, I don't know. But right now, yeah, articulation is really good, especially because you do have this space in the shoulders right here where it's not gonna, the robe's not going to be pulling down on the arm or anything. So you basically have full articulation with this figure. That's how far the arm goes, forward, back. Arm can go really basically anywhere. And then we do have the double bend elbow right there. Beautiful. Love whenever we have a really good double bend. The ab crunch is there. It's goes about that much. Goes about not much backwards though. And then the head sculpt, of course, you can go all the way wherever you want to. Dang, that kind of hurts. The horns are a little spiky, but let's look at the legs. Let's see how far they can, stretch out perfectly. Look at this, forward. Oh yeah, you can get this thing in some good dynamic posing if you really want to. Backwards, not too much, but that's okay. And like I said earlier, this ankle articulation, you can move it a little bit. It does look like we have a split cut boot, actually, right here. But it is attached. This part's attached, but right here it is split cut. So that's really cool. I like that. That's actually a pretty smart idea because it didn't look like it at first, but there it is, guys. The figure. Now what I'm going to do is show you it with the other head sculpt on. So here it is with the stock head sculpt, and here it is with the other head sculpt on, and I think it looks awesome. You do have those grimy teeth, the red eyes, red and yellow eyes that you can see perfectly. The horns look great, just like the other sculpt that we have on this. There's the back of the head as well, but man, this head sculpt does it a lot for me. If I had to pick one sculpt to have him with though, I don't know. It just depends on the pose, really. If I was in a dynamic pose, this one, of course. If I just have him standing there, maybe with the hood on or something like that, I would pick the other head sculpt. I just really feel like the Ray Park likeness in this is outstanding. Like I said, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I could tell the upgrade in head sculpts on this one right away when I saw the announcement photos. But anyways, guys, let's get to our favorite part. We're going to get up close and personal with this figure. I'm going to give you some pros and cons and my overall thoughts, so let's get to it. First off, since I didn't show him in the robe earlier, here he is in a simple pose, but looking very menacing. You know, I like figures that look really good, even though they're just in a museum pose. With that being said, I did want to get to some of the pros and cons about this figure. Starting with the pros, the first pro would be the clothing of this figure. The way they designed the clothes is phenomenal because even though it does have a bunch of layers, you can still get him in a really good pose and everything just looks flush to the body. Next pro are the two main accessories he comes with, and that's going to be the probe droid and the binoculars. I love the way you can pose Maul with him holding the binoculars. This leaves the door open to many possibilities of photography. And for the droid, I love the amount of detail that was put into it. There's all these wires and different paint apps all over it. Another pro is going to be the robe. It does feel really high quality and there's a lot of wires in it, so you can get it in some good windswept poses, except for the hood. I didn't really like the hood because it didn't have any wires in it. But the fact that you can put this thing on really easy because it doesn't have any sleeves, it makes it that much better. My last pro is of course going to be the head sculpts to this figure. These are absolutely insane, especially the angry head sculpt. You could just see the detail that was put into these, especially with the teeth. You could see the nasty teeth Maul has on this sculpt. This sculpt also has a very good likeness to Ray Park. I would say this is worth the upgrade from the 1.0 to the 2.0 with the head sculpt alone. Now with that being said, I do have a few cons. They might not be crazy, but here they are. My first con would have to be the loose eyes that are on the sculpt. I feel like even just a shake will move these eyes around, and even when I try to put the head sculpt on, sometimes it does move the eyes around as well. Next con is that the clothing on this guy is a dust magnet. As I was doing the review, I noticed a lot of little pieces of white specks everywhere, and I just had to keep wiping them off and wiping them off. Maybe when you get this figure, you might want a mini lint roller. Then the last con would be the base. I really don't like the big base, especially if you are a collector trying to save as much space as possible. You know, the space takes so much real estate in the collection that I would consider buying a third-party base just so I don't have to deal with this huge base. So with that being said, I will give this figure an 8.6 out of 10. Overall, this figure really surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is, especially for it being like a fully clothed figure. I feel like the head sculpts are really doing most of the legwork with making this figure look outstanding. It's like a super iconic character just shrunk down into that 1/6 scale form. Now, who would I recommend this figure to? I'd actually recommend this figure to any casual Star Wars fan, especially fans that like the Phantom Menace or have a Qui-Gon Jinn figure already. Those two would pair perfectly together. But let me know what you think about this figure down there in the comment section below. I also left a link down in the description for Plastic Hero Collectibles Facebook group. If you want to join, make sure to check them out. Also, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It's been Collector Joey. I will see you on the next one. Peace.